Hey, Podcast America, welcome to episode, I don't even fucking know because we took a break to go hunting of the Enlightened Neanderthals podcast. You think you know, Jordan?
79.
5, 6, 4,
9,
8.
2003.
We're here.
Here we are at Kazakhstan. Before we get started, let's talk about my own company, Training Northwest, which you can find at trainingnorthwestllc.com. If you're local in the Snohomish County, Washington area, the schedule is wide open for November and December private lessons on the pistol and carbine range. And we have a wait list for a second rifleman camp, because the first is sold out for 2025. I think there
2.0
are 2.0
of
there might
2025.
Yeah, as we sit right now, there are 6 people on the wait list for a second round. If I get to 10, I'll schedule a second camp. And that's all I got for Training Northwest. Mike?
Oh, my rifleman camp?
Oh, no,
hey,
no, not your rifleman
I'm
camp.
providing night vision to everyone. A lifetime supply of gummy bears.
Mm-hmm. Yep. American made or something like that.
Yeah.
Actually, wouldn't that be nuts?
Rifleman
Taiwanese
Camp
made.
2 is also going to be AKs.
Oh.
That's what,
Only.
that's the, yeah.
Only.
So
All right.
you forge your own.
I got some.
in your
It might-
house.
You keep joking. It might be bolt guns, to be honest with you. We might seriously be doing a second week into bolt guns because that's become my new obsession. I'm in love with it.
Mm-hmm. There it is. Well, this episode we bullshitted about hunting.
This is
Hunting.
all
You guys got after it. This
We
you guys,
tried to seduce you, Jordan, because you didn't go this year. And so we had to rub it in your face and
It
talk
hurts.
dirty.
It hurts.
Yeah, there was a lot of
Should've
dirty
come.
talk of hunting
I did come
and misshared experiences
in this episode.
And I wanted you in my little wolf pup den so bad, but you missed them, dude.
I was howling at the same moon. I was howling at the same moon, guys.
Do you ever think when you're a little wolf
back
pup
home
and
in
I'm
Lake
a little wolf
Stevens.
pup and we're both looking at that moon?
That big old
we're
moon up there.
looking at it together at the same time.
Yeah, it was a show about hunting. Yeah, knock the shit out of them this year, boys.
Oh my God! Enjoy it, everybody.
Enjoy.
Oh yeah. What'd you do last week, Jordan?
Last weekend, I went duck hunting and crabbing, and it was a blast.
So it wasn't a wash.
It was not a wash. It was great.
Okay.
We got 18 crabs on the boat, and then 10 ducks, which we retrieved 7 of, which kind of sucks, but those 3 got away, and then.
And then what was the bird on the back of your truck? That was a pheasant?
Oh, and yeah, that was a pheasant.
Was that EB Island?
Yeah, that was just EB Island. So that's a lease site.
Okay.
So they're not just wild there, but
Yeah.
yeah.
What'd you do last week, Mike?
Me? I walked. I took my gun for a very long
Took
walk.
your gun for a long walk.
And the week before, I took my bow for a very long walk.
You got to get them out every once in a while.
Yeah, gotta let them breathe or they
Yeah.
get musty, smell like mothballs.
You got to let them stretch their legs.
So do you know the story of James Deere yet?
I haven't heard nothing.
You haven't heard
yet.
shit.
I haven't heard. This is
Wait,
all
this
new
is
to
if
me.
this is our
Are we
hunting
just
recap.
jumping
Yeah, this
we're
is
going
hunting
right in.
recap.
Okay,
Here we
But
go.
if we're doing it, I want to go chronologically.
All right,
Because I went first to Jordan's spot.
Yeah.
And I'm going to, this is like...
So we're talking
the names
archery
and
elk now.
faces
Yeah.
have been changed in account of this story. These places are different and may not exist.
So yeah, hey,
we're gonna go
before
vague.
before you start, watch your mouth.
Watched it,
Hang on.
taped it, cleaned it.
I think Mike's totally okay with exposing your honey hole.
I hope not.
So you sent me to an elky area that I have never been before. I hunt in a different part of the state than you hunt
It's a
on.
different kind of hunting.
It is a different kind of hunting.
Yes.
But when I got there, I was going to camp at that gate. I had an e-bike and a regular bike.
Oh, how'd you score an e-bike?
Both of them weren't mine, gentlemen.
The best
So
kind.
like I said,
those are
I
the
had
best
an
kind.
e-bike
Where did
and
you
a mount.
steal these from, and where did you ditch them after you were done?
No, Bender.
Okay.
Bender's got them.
Ben's got an e-bike.
Yeah, it's not crazy e-bike. It's just
Whatever.
assisted,
Pedal
but
assist,
like,
yeah.
going to the bear spot.
Yeah.
It's like I'm all
Fly.
sweating there. He's like, I've been up and down and like checking in.
There's
on you
nothing
guys
down
back.
there. That's the worst when they say
It's
that.
like it's
There's nothing there.
An hour bike ride for me is 25 minutes for him. Just
I was
like
in
Mary
that spot
Poppins.
behind the gate, probably 10 miles, and hear some guy
Just flying through on it.
Yep, and he's just like, it's kind of unethical to hunt without one around here.
Without one.
And it's like, you motherfucker. He was like, yeah, because if I shoot one way back here, like, how am I going to get it back and forth? I was like, the whole point is you don't come back here because you can't get it out, motherfucker. Like, but I mean, it's neither here nor there. That's not the topic.
Yeah.
So what
So
happened?
great success then.
Yeah.
So
I send you to this spot, and this this place.
You're
has-
there with all the toys, all the bells and whistles.
No.
has
So,
a- has a
okay, so
special
what's your
place in my
excuse?
heart.
I went to park at that gate. That gate was not closed.
Oh,
That gate has been open all summer.
really?
I drove and set up camp at where that road ends, and it borders.
Yep.
Where
I
you
know
can't
exactly
hunt.
what you're talking about.
I'm like, this is it. Let's go to the furthest. This is great. I was in that last huge bowl is where I set up camp. And it just nothing. Like there were hunters, there were cars up there.
The fact that they did that, if I would have known that, I wouldn't have sent you.
No. So, so my buddy and I, Bender goes up the day before. He sets up Friday. He goes up Friday night. I show up Saturday morning, first thing in the morning. I left here super early and caught the stupid ferry. That sucked. Ferries.
I love the ferry.
I'm a
except
big
the
fan.
schedule sucks. Like riding the ferry across the Puget Sound is amazing.
Oh, that's the nice part. The worst part is just getting in that line. You're like, I'm going to go at the 5 o'clock ferry. Like,
What day of the week was this?
Saturday morning.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Bad call, Mike.
Oh,
Bad
dude,
call, Mike.
People are cutting you off to get
Yeah,
into they're
yeah,
like flying past you and just cut you off. And you're like, I'm packed up, but most of all, I'm ready for serenity.
Yeah.
I'm going out in the woods. And to do that, it's like I'm doing Grand Theft Auto just to get into the ferry line. And there was people everywhere, and I barely made it on. But so Ben went Friday night. Yeah. I got there Saturday morning, right? I show up Saturday morning. The gate's closed. He could text me at a couple points. So he's like, just go all the way. And I set up camp. So I go there.
And the gate's closed or open?
It's open. So
that is a problem.
Okay. So we set up there. I show up and like he gets out of his car and he just like, he looks horrible. And he goes,
hammered.
Oh no, Ben was sick last week, so he was even sicker the week before. Probably.
Yeah. Dude. So he goes. I think I had bad Thai food and I had food poisoning. I'm like, just take it easy for a minute. Like we just showed up there. I drove to the very top, so I'm just like looking at it. I'm like, where's my bugle tube? We're gonna like scream down this hill, see what's happening. And so I start walking around. I'm like, oh shit. Look at all this scat. Are there coyotes? Did you hear coyotes last night? Is this coyote scat? And he's like, that's not coyote scat. That's Ben scat. And instantly it was like, oh, dude, I don't think that's like just food poisoning. He looked bad. It's like, I think you're sick, dude.
You've got chronic wasting disease, bro.
So I just said that story to like set up. That's how I showed up to the hunt, you know?
Yeah.
And so it's like, all right, he's fucked up. I'll hunt. I'll start seeing kind of what's going on and stuff. And so that day we hunted on Saturday and we kind of explored a little around that in that bowl, going around it and then going down to the right if you were to keep going down that road. And
that you go through the big rock.
Yeah. So just checking out everything. And then all of a sudden, some Asian dude shows up, Wong,
on his mountain bike.
He wasn't on. He had a buddy.
Or a Toyota truck.
He had a buddy, and he goes, "Hey man, have you seen an elderly hunter, like a dude in his like 70s. We're like, no, I haven't.
Wong asked you this question?
Yeah, okay. Wong. Yeah, and he was.
But Wong, that dude is from that area.
Yeah.
And he's legit.
Well, we know. Trust me. I've heard much.
This old man is more legit, technically.
He's the reason I have a lumbar pack.
Yeah, very nice.
Anyway.
Okay, so I run into Wong, and he's like, I'm looking for our friend. He's 70 years old. He's hunted here forever. He's like a master guy.
Is that how he said it?
We'll get to that point. Don't worry. We'll get there. And he's like, so have you seen our old friend? And Ben and I both, no, we haven't. We'll keep our eye out. But we just kept talking to him. And they're like, what are you doing up here? And like, well, this is our buddy spot and we're archery. But archery's been so hot, we wanted to do muzzle loader this year and carry our bows. And he goes, oh, crazy, me too. And I was like, oh, cool, me too. And then we started talking some more. And he's like, so you said you have a friend up here? And we go, yeah, our friend Jordan. I grapple with him and do archery with him. And he told me to go up here. Like, he's got big cauliflower ears. And he goes, Jordan, he hunts with his dad in his trailer and he has mushroom ear. Yeah. Dude, so instantly we started talking. Ben's sitting in the corner like about to create more coyote poop. Yeah. And so we got to know those guys. And God.
Hang on. So we need to make friends with these guys and we need mentors.
Oh, dude, but the thing is like, it's kind of interesting because I've had more run-ins and like met people and learned shit up there than anywhere else I've ever been.
So we need to search these guys out. And
put APB on them.
Yeah, exactly. We need to find. we need to be like, hey guys, let us show us your ways.
No, hey, I know where he lives every year.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
In September.
Yeah. So we're going back.
But we ran into him and got to know him, and we're talking, and he said this year, that gate, they kept all open. There's been there's been people's family, camping, dirt biking, everything happening. He's like, it's been closed every year.
Which ties us into opening day of our hunt, but go ahead.
Yeah. So he said this year it's been weird, and he said the same thing I've been saying. He goes, it's so hot for archery. It seems like they don't hit the rut until the later part of it. Like the peak rut is the 22nd to the 24th or something supposed to be in there. And now archery elk is on the 9th.
Yeah.
And it's like, so maybe let's go like first week of October and hit it hard. And there was no bugling. The only bugle I heard was from him. We actually figured it out because we hunted that bull for that day. And yeah, it was so I got that information. That people have been up here.
That sucks. That really upsets me.
Oh, it was. But that old guy. So he told me that story. Like that guy, like 1 year, his most, like he puts those rubber tips on the arrows.
Yeah.
And he goes, his biggest year was 9 elk one
Holy
year.
Shit.
He hit with rubber darts.
All bulls, or was he shooting cows too?
Probably bulls.
Okay.
But he was an old timer that's hunted that area. And to me, it kind of made me sad to be like, this guy spent his whole life here, gotten to know it so well. And it's kind of like this private area that they always keep closed. And now they're like, hey, gates are open. And it's like, it's harder and harder to find somewhere that isn't touched by man.
It's actually surprising to me that in Washington State, they're opening gates. Yeah, I keep expecting more.
They're pushing the hunters out.
I keep expecting more gates to be closed.
No, the problem is they're building roads through wilderness because they want
Timber.
revenue.
Yeah.
They want revenue from people. I think who knows, but like they could give a fuck about hunters.
No, I know.
Like Washington hates hunters.
Yes.
The people in charge. So the fact that they're opening it isn't surprising, but it really does fucking suck. Because that's the whole reason they had it closed, just because it's a migration.
And dude,
corridor.
I could see like that place being closed, and I was ready to go there and set up backpacking camp, and because it's not bad like pedaling a bike.
No,
it's way easier. But it was like, yeah, let's go back here, and the fact we could just drive. And that last bowl is the most beautiful thing. And there's many ways to get into it from the bottom all the way driving to the top.
Yeah.
and just nothing. There was no real sign. We talked to Wong in that about your mushroom ear. And then Ben and I were like, let's just go until I put an IV in Ben's arm
until
and
I shit myself to death.
Yeah, I was like,
It's like Oregon Trail. Ben has died of dysentery.
Next forge the river. Yeah, it didn't work well. But we just said, let's go to where we start seeing sign. There was so many people up there and moving around in trucks.
See, that's the thing that sucks, because there's other roads that guys go to and it's open. So they'll go and drive all over the place, and all they do is drive. They just fucking sit in their trucks and drive. So to get to a spot where it's like, oh, you can't drive, it turns a bunch of motherfuckers around.
Oh,
they're like,
no one in
forget
there.
that. And then you go and
even if
there's,
it's you and 10 other guys
that's
you're
what
at the
ended up
5
happening.
mile mark. It's like, yeah, cool. Good
Yeah.
luck. Good luck. Good luck.
Yeah, everybody's like, hey, how'd
You
it go?
can still be in an area where the roads are open, and you don't have to get far away or far above the roads to get away from everyone. Like, case in point, a couple of the ridge lines I walked last week, I could see the forest roads, and I could see the trucks, kind of crawling around up and down the roads, and not a single goddamn person did I see up on the ridge line.
No, it takes away from my 2-week experience in the woods.
Yeah.
That's what I don't like about it, right?
Yeah.
Like, we had Jake on. Jake talked about it. He was like, "Oh, you see guys in there? They take their truck, they drive up, they park, and then he's sitting right underneath them and just waits. They don't say anything. They don't see him. They look around. They drive off.
Yeah.
20 minutes later, there's an elk. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
but I just don't like. It's like, I don't want to be stressed out by other motherfuckers out here. I know it's part of it, but when you find a spot that's like you have to put in the footwork or the pedal work to
No
get
one's
there,
here.
you go, I can go back here and I don't expect to see but 2 people for the day if I'm on the fucking road on a bike or walking it. And that was kind of what it's always been, is like you see 2 to 3 people on the main drag a day, and that's it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
you see Wong and his 70-year-old friend.
Well, dude, and those motherfuckers
Can
the
move.
real.
Yeah,
they're
they
the
were
real
the
deal.
real
They're
deal.
the real deal.
That's what I'm saying. Like, we should legitimately try to find these people and say, hey, teach us.
He's the one who was like, I don't even want to talk about this, give away the spot. We were talking, and I was like, yeah, I saw a bull, and
Wong or the older guy?
Wong.
Okay.
Saw a bull, and it was, and he'd be like, oh, that'd be a good bull, good first bull for you. Like, that'd be cool. And I was like, oh, well, and he was like, no.
Yeah.
So he was just like, no, I wouldn't. I know what I'm going after here.
Yeah.
And then when I saw it, I was like,
his kill, you mean? When you saw his kill?
No. When I saw what he was going after,
Okay.
I was like,
oh shit.
There's a different animal out here.
Well, it's like going for what we did with deer. The beginning was very much trophy, and talking with those guys, it feels like you take enough of them out of there, you start to learn that habitat, their area, their trails.
When a guy's a guy's killed so many, he just says, "Fuck it, I'm going to use blunt
Rubber
tip
arrows." Yeah.
to fucking smack
the
'em."
art of it.
Yeah, just to.
That's earning stripes on your
That's
black
how much
belt.
he hates his wife.
Yeah.
He's like, if I shoot one, she's gonna bitch. If I fucking am at home, she's gonna bitch. I'm gonna go hunt and not shoot one, but I'm gonna still shoot it with these blunt tips.
But it was still fun. So we were out there, and
Did you get any grouse?
Yeah.
Well, James shot everything, including a grouse.
James spot. I shot a tail off a grouse with Ben at 30 yards.
Oh, really?
Oh,
Yeah.
you took a shot at one?
Elk hunting.
Oh, okay.
This is elk hunting. There was a lot of grouse up there.
Yeah, it's a grousey spot.
Driving up there, I got out of my car and chased one around for 10 minutes and fired an arrow and missed it. And it's like, that arrow's gone. I shot a tail off of one at 30 yards.
And still running around?
Yeah, he flew. Ben was like, what the hell just happened? It looked like a pillow exploded. I must have just took his tail and back feathers off.
I shot one time. I was with, I can't remember where in Eastern Washington we were, maybe Eniad or something. And I shot a grouse, and I hit it to where it was like kind of injured, but it was still trying to fly off, but it could get some elevation. And it was like, oh shit. So me and my buddy Edison are like running around trying to get this thing. And I picked up a stick that was about the size of a baseball bat. And at one point, like he went to go grab it and it flew up right in front of me. And I just fucking gave it everything I had. And fucking knocked the shit out of that fucking thing. Oh, and yeah, it was good tasting grouse.
Dan killed one.
Tenderized.
Dan killed one with a rock from camp a year ago at bear camp. They did the high buck hunt, and like a grouse just walked into their camp at night when they're having a fire, and Dan of all people like grabs a rock, picks it up, just like, and they're like straight kill. It was done. Yeah, right in the face.
All athletic.
Yeah.
Athletic Dan.
But okay, so up top was nuts. We met your friends.
That's cool. I'm happy that happened.
Oh yeah,
That's
it was a good interaction and exchange. Yeah. So we had some commonality. Really nice. Probably talked for 45 minutes, an hour. Just hung out. They finally found their friend. It was good. Old man, I forget what his name was, but we talked to him for a little bit. But he doesn't talk when you're that old and crusty.
But dude,
could you imagine me with an old?
I ran into that guy the first time I met the old guy. We were in like he was working his way into a trail. I was working my way out of a trail, and he hadn't seen me yet, and I saw him and I was walking, and I had my fucking pack on and getting caught on everything. Like I said, that 26-inch is like too much for over there. It's just too much.
You need the fanny.
Yeah, and he had this lumbar pack, and like he stepped over a branch and like spun, and like
he like backstepped like
did a
jiu-jitsu.
pirouette.
Yeah. It was like
Triple
he
axle
did this
back
thing,
load.
and it just like worked his way through. But it didn't look like he was working hard. He was just kind of like moving through, and it was just like
Flowing.
what the. It was very much flowing. It was like how the fuck. And then I kind of come up on him. And he's like, oh, what the fuck, and he was like, oh, you just walked down here, and I was like, yeah. And he was like, all right. And he turned around and like we walked out, but it was just like. It was interesting to see a guy that old and grizzled that was fucking running a lumbar pack, not getting caught on anything, and just kind of moving through. And I was like, that's the fucking move. So that's the whole reason I started doing that.
Do you happen to notice what kind of footwear he was wearing?
Just old boots.
Black lunch lady shoes.
Yeah,
That's
those
what those are.
motherfuckers. Like,
Wasn't like moccasins or some shit?
No. Like, it's not like I wouldn't call these guys wealthy men.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like we get it done with what the fuck we got, and that's it.
Yep.
Like, and this $20 fucking not carbon, but aluminum outer frame pack has packed more fucking meat than you ever will in your life.
Yeah.
And it's like, there's just something to guys who just go get it done with whatever the fuck they have.
Run what you brung.
Exactly. And I was kind of raised on that, and as I got older, I was like, nah, I'm more into this.
I got money now. Yeah.
But then it's like, oh, but you're losing the sight of what you're actually out there doing, and you're not doing it as proficient, because when I was younger, it was like I just had what I had, and I felt like I was getting after it way better. And now as I'm getting older, it's like, my back, this, that. Like, now I'm going to buy all this cool stuff, but I don't have the time to go out like I used to.
Concentrating on the wrong things.
Yes. Very much so. Yep. That being said, Favre is awesome.
I was just saying, that being said, I'm becoming more and more like you, where I like my good equipment, because I realized this year I got my pack, like I got a 3-night pack down to less than 40 pounds, and I got my day pack down to like 12 pounds.
Nothing.
Yeah. And it was so much nicer. And to be able to sort of scoot through the mountains that way, or not scoot, but like not just kill yourself, is
having 10 pounds on your back compared to having 40 or 50 is a huge game changer. And not only just like your energy level, but like with less weight, you have the ability to have awareness in what's going on, compared to my goal is to slug this load up that mountaintop. You're able to stop, listen, be aware, quieter. Yeah. Having a huge fucking ruck on is the problem.
Well, and not only that, but I was able to cover like the 2 days that Nathan went with you one day, and then he stayed at the camp one day.
Okay, so
those 2 days, I was able to cover a lot of ground I never felt rushed. I was not making much noise. I was creeping, but I was also moving fast, and it's because I was light.
Yeah. I mean, I think there's definitely a happy medium between having the stuff you need, because I won't be able to pack something out if I get it down and I'm wearing a lumbar pack.
You're taking the head and setting the coordinate and coming back with your hauler.
Yeah, which, you have a kill kit in there, so you can bag it up.
Yeah,
you can get it all the way broken down to where you're hanging shit in trees.
Fuck
right?
that,
But I'm saying, like, what I carry that is, like, I have enough paracord to, like, wrap something up, get it up in a tree. I have all the bags. I have
mini pliers.
Yeah, I got mini pliers, so I'm basically set. I'm ready to build civilization.
The one
out
tool
there.
you need, mini channel locks.
Yeah, you send me in there with that, I might come out with like a battery. You know what I mean?
Down, get the balls.
Yeah, hold them, squeeze them. It tastes better when you squeeze them. That's fucking makes me super happy.
Okay, so met all that guy, and it was just like too many people up top. People are here, elk aren't here. I wanted to go into the area you can't hunt and really on it, because it's like, it does kind of look like things do lead from here. But it was like, all right, let's go low. We went all the way down to the bottom, like when you first drive in, and hunted the river.
Yeah.
We walked the river until you found tracks. We found a huge trail. So we went to we did every log. There's so many clear cuts, and like, where are they here? Are they here? We hunted for 4 days all the way down, and then we stayed at the bottom, and we walked them until we found a trail. But it was kind of a problem because didn't have a fishing pole, but humpies, salmon,
Running hard.
moving up that river. My friend, when you haven't seen elk in 4 days and there are salmon plentiful in shallow water,
Did you do it?
It was so hard not to pull that, dude. Ben had a slingshot and glass marbles because we camped down by the river. He's like, dude, I'll just take one out. Yeah. But the craziest part about that was I would go out the last morning. I go, I'm just going to go to this spot where I think it's heavy. Heard a bunch of stuff. Nothing presented itself, but found, because couldn't find prints anywhere else. So it's like, go down to the beach in the water and take it down until you see a major crossing area. And I found a bunch of elk that were like herd of elk that were crossing across the beach. So I went and set up there in the morning. But to get out there, I had to walk out of where camp was and down the river for like 1/8 of a mile. It looked like a scene from Jaws. Those salmon going up the shallowest of river, but
like
they're all
churning up the
humpies,
water,
so it looks like a huge fin. And you would take one step out on the river, and 30 fish would go by your feet. It was like, it was like I knew there were salmon, but it's so overwhelming. It was like a million little eels kind of going by you. Yeah.
Oh man. So did you actually get eyes on any elk?
No,
because that forest is thick out there. It's hard to. What was your max sight distance? Like 25 yards?
I mean, when you're on peaks and ridges, you see things. And going through there, the nice thing about where we were is it's very big trees, but the undergrowth wasn't as prevalent. Okay. Like the undergrowth here, I have huge trees, but the undergrowth limits you to 20 yards. There, maybe 50 to 70.
Oh. When you're dropping in on certain spots, it seems super, super thick. Mm-hmm. And then once you get closer to the bottom, it kind of clears out a little bit.
Okay. It always shocks me that those big of animals live in that thick of brush.
Oh, yeah. And they're not quiet about it.
Yeah.
But then sometimes they are. Mm-hmm. And sometimes
I think they pushed. Because talking to Wong, he said that area you can't hunt and the area you can hunt, sometimes like they would all of a sudden come down because they're different herds. And he said he's been in that bowl hearing those two like yell at each other and trying to figure out
gang war.
Yeah, and it's because that road was shut, and it's like that area we can't hunt is sanctuary. But that area you can hunt when the gate was shut was also sanctuary because 2 guys, 3 guys, 4 guys would go in there.
Yeah,
That's
so-
not enough pressure.
Yeah, I'm truly saddened. I'm learning this right now, and it fucking hurts my heart.
Yeah.
You know?
So I would do that area again if you have a new hunting hole.
There's a couple more spots up there that are
that spot. That was bad, but I had
sucks.
fun on it. It was fun watching Ben poop in the woods. And
Did
I
you
got
guys
to
get
meet
pissed
your
on
buddy.
all weekend or all week?
No, it was fine. It was beautiful.
Oh, nice.
It was beautiful.
well, and dude, that's the thing is I've been out there and it's fucking just so miserable.
Oh, yeah.
It's 3 days and I'm like, you know what? I cannot. Nothing's moving in this. I don't care what the fuck animal it is. It is bedded down or just hanging out. It ain't fucking moving around in this.
I'll tell you one thing though, like driving out there, there is, and I went early, and it goes towards some, maybe we'll say tribal land, and in the tribal land they had a dispensary, and it said opens at 8, everything's 75% off. I went past that fucker at like 6:45. There must have been no. There was a 1.5 mile line of cars.
Oh, shit.
Parked outside. 75% off of weed. Like some casinos, like we need to like mark things down to net profits this year. And me and the black,
roof was leaking. This shit's gonna mold. Hurry up,
dude.
Get
It was
out of here.
nuts.
No shit.
Driving out there, it's like, what is this? Is there an accident up ahead or like some event? Like
Milli Vanilli concert. What the fuck?
Yeah, is Kenny G performing in the San Juans? And I was like, no, dude, 75% off of weed. So that was my trip.
Did you stop?
How hard up do you have to be to go save $60 on marijuana?
I mean, 75%
I think
the
you're
top.
spending some serious coin at that point. You're like, how could you not?
Still.
It say you spent $300
Dude,
for a
not-
top
it's
shelf
not
ounce.
saving $65. It's because you're spending that
How,
money.
how long are you
You're
gonna,
not.
How long? I guess my question is,
when
how long
it's
are you going to sit in line
75%
to
off,
save $100?
But you're not saving the money.
When you live on
that's
an
the
island?
thing is you're not saving the money. You're spending your money and you're buying more.
Yeah, go on
You're
it.
spending everything you can.
It's Costco.
It's just like, I'm going to get everything I can out of this.
All right.
Do I want a jar of mayonnaise or a 5-gallon bucket of mayonnaise?
Yeah.
I'm parking
When
at
guess what? I'm trying to
6:45.
start a sandwich shop. You know what I mean? Like, that's the fucking.
Yeah, dude.
What are you doing here?
Oh my God.
All right, that was hunting part 1. Can we take pee break?
Yeah.
What do we?
We're half an hour in, Mike.
That's okay.
Come on.
No,
you got 15 more minutes in you for a pee break.
15?
We can
This
take it. All
mic's
right,
hard.
all right. You know what? Pee break.
Pee break. Hit it one more time for that intro.
One more for the
Wasn't
microphone.
recorded.
Let's see it.
Yeah.
There it is. All right, where we leave off, Mike.
I wanted to kill salmon with my bow and arrow and
glass marbles.
shot. So that was elk hunting. My back went out, left early, got massages.
Yeah, from a Mrs.
Wong. Madam Wong. Did cupping, got a massage, 4 chiropractor appointments, and then
4
went,
chiropractor appointments.
Yeah.
Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Okay.
A hot cold with you, which really solidified it. Met Tobin at the gas station going
For a
over
hot
the
cold.
mountains. How did he run into me? Rolling out in the gas station parking lot on a
right.
chirp
He was on his
back
chirp wheel. On
Dude,
his tailgate of his truck.
driving was the worst thing because sitting, my back would go out. And so I tried, dude, I was hanging up a quarter of the day upside down or have that neck
Do you have a-
device.
Okay, hang on. Let me
Do you have a
tell you.
lumbar in the back of your truck when you're driving?
Let's talk about getting to hunting camp because
Hold
Mike,
on, this is important. Do you have a lumbar pad in your truck?
No.
Get one, because
I've
shit
had
you
them
not.
in the past.
Okay, because my
will
back
be honest.
will go out if I don't have my little pad in there.
That's not me. My back go
Every day. If I could drive home without it, I'm like,
You know why my back went
getting out of the
out?
truck.
My back went out from us not having. I like having a camp. or
wasn't packing
somewhere.
out meat.
Yeah, it wasn't that. I like having a camp, and I like setting up my tent
Fucking
But
dickhead.
like I never had elk because it's like it was just instantly that's like there's nothing up here. So we like would hunt all day and drive somewhere else, and I'd sleep in the back of my truck, and I couldn't spread out, and I couldn't and then it was like found a new spot, drive out, sleep in the back of my truck. The fourth night I did that, like I went. That morning we found that river spot. I'm going to sit here. I sat there since 5:30 in the morning. I sat there for like 6 hours just waiting. Just like, this is the only sign I'm committed. Sitting there, my back went out. Just like all of a sudden I got up and it was like a disc went out from sitting on a river rock and a log. I even made a blind. It was nice. But when...
You got to lay down in those situations.
It screwed me
You got
up.
to take a little nap,
siesta.
It screwed me up. And then so I went home and I was like, I just have to recover. And I did all my massage stuff. I did my cupping like a hippie. I put a crystal on the bridge of my nose and it maybe helped.
Little dousing.
Yeah. Bunch of chiropractic. And then it was deer season. And deer season's different because deer, I think hunting those deer is seeing them from 500 yards away. I went from an exact opposite of like elk bugling, calling, bring them in 40 yards, 20 yards in the thick, clean shot to like, all right.
Now we're thinking wind calls.
Time.
Yeah.
It's ridge pounding. And I'm going up to areas I'm constantly taking glass and I'm not even using it because how about this? Tobin, this is where, I can talk about my experience with it and what I thought it was.
Yeah, hold on. Let me ask you guys a couple questions about this. So you guys got out there at the same time. You guys both drove out there. You have Nathan with you.
Yes.
Jamers is out there. Who else? Was that
Bender,
Dan.
Dan.
Okay, so there was, so all five of you guys went out there.
It's a good crew. It proved itself to be a very solid
now,
crew.
and this is the same spot we went last year?
Yes. Well, with some addition.
Yeah.
We didn't stay there very
To
long.
the lake, the little lake, not the big lake.
We
but
started at the same campground.
Okay.
Yeah.
And we only stayed there 2 nights.
So we show up.
So did you guys hunt
Chirp wheel in hand.
Yeah.
Chirp wheel in hand.
Did you guys
Injuries.
split up? Or
Yes.
did
No,
you guys
both.
No. Well, Ben and Dan went the day before. Friday, they hiked in and set up camp.
And it was hot. So let's preface it with this. Is we showed up at that campground parking area and it was so hot out that I was down to like bare chested, pants rolled up to my knees, unloading, like setting up camp at that campground. Okay.
Can I rewind even more?
Sweating my ass off.
No. Can I rewind even more? Before we even got to camp, heading over the pass, we'll just say we intersected the Pacific Crest Trail. Mm-hmm. There must have been.
It was that rainy pass on Highway 20.
So
well, hey, ambiguity.
Oh, come on. North
stamp.
Cascades. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, but all right. So we were somewhere.
We were in, don't tell them we were in the North Cascades.
Yeah, no, just Pacific Crest Trail. There must have been a quarter mile of cars. It's
more than that. It was literally hundreds of people at 6 o'clock in the morning, walking along the side of Highway 20 with all their trekking poles, headed to the Rainy Pass trailhead. And I was like, dude, this is going to be one of those things where you're just going to walk in a single file line of people going up as a single file line of people are coming down. It was disgusting, dude. And so, so now Mike.
A bunch of Subarus.
Yeah, a bunch of Subarus and angry lesbians.
Yeah.
Sweet softball team. Yeah. I mean, I'm thinking about recruiting boys for a podcast softball team.
And you know what's funny is I ran into some of those angry lesbians down in Winthrop later where you could just feel like the
you can grow a beard and I can't.
Exactly. Yeah, we're sitting in a coffee shop that I told Mike I'm not going to go to because that sounds like they play for the wrong team. And he's like, trust me, it's good coffee. So we're sitting in there, and I can tell there's some people who are chill and relaxed. And here's this chick who is just giving off the fucking angry energy. And I was like, I know what team she plays for.
You text me. He's like, he got to the coffee shop before me. He goes, we're in enemy territory. The best was
100% we will.
The soy latte.
Yeah. And then, exactly. Mike walks in and sits down. Here comes this guy in his Patagonia catalog gear and orders a soy latte. And I almost started, I snorted. I almost started laughing out loud.
But okay. So we're skipping all over. So
we're all over the place.
We started and we were like, let's go high, boys. Where I wanted to go last year.
Get high, stay high.
This is where we keep ambiguity. Tobin, looking at you. In effect with that.
Lock it up.
Yeah. So the first place we went where we went last year, Jordan.
Jordan.
We
don't let them know.
Don't let them know.
We went to the North Cascades.
Yeah, but don't let them know where.
It's a very small area.
Dude, we hike in that morning on Saturday. We go up there.
North Cascades.
North Cascades. We go to that little lake. There's 3 camps set
That's
up.
the name of the fucking lake, you moron.
Yeah. 3 camps. Not little lake.
Yeah.
But we go up
Jordan,
there.
it was a KOA. There's a fucking dog barking.
No shit.
There were hikers
everywhere.
There
up above us on the ridge.
That weren't, it wasn't hunting people. It was hikers.
Because it was like 65 degrees and sunny. I think there must have been something on the news or in the forums that's like, hey, one last warm weekend in the mountains. Everybody get out there and enjoy it. Because they were all out there.
It was horrible, dude.
It was awful.
There was people everywhere, just like elk. Like this, my whole hunting has been like, hey, this area, no one goes. You go there and you're like, why the fuck's everyone here?
Dude, yeah, that still hurts me. So you guys get out there. You're fucking in a zoo. Yeah. There's a bunch of people out there.
So do you remember
You're saying there's 3 other camps in that little area
on that one little spine. The one little spine.
I know exactly which one you're talking
about. So there were 3 other
Nathan
camps.
was gonna stay in that little.
Yes.
Yeah.
There was actually a tent. Yeah. There was actually 2 large tents set up at that hut.
At that, they said
a little lean-to, and up above us on the trail that continues up to that higher ridge line. We're sitting there and you hear, roar, 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 roar. We're like, no fucking way. This is this is still early in the morning, like before lunchtime. And we're like, Jesus Christ. And then we run into that guy lower down who we talked to for a little bit. And he was friendly, but at the same, we're like, this is a campground. This is not a remote ridgeline anymore. No. So we're like, fuck it, we're out of here. And I don't know if you remember the next, like looking north from there. Like, so remember the bowl we glassed the first morning last year? Yep. If that's to your right, looking north was like a barren.
Just a hillside.
Yeah. So we're like, fuck it. You know what? We're walking up to the top of that and we're going to tuck in there for the night and scout it out. So it didn't take long to get up there. And Nathan and Mike sat down and I went and kind of scouted around and there was no trails, no sign, no nothing. So I was like, all right, this is a bust. And so then we went back down into that pass and made camp for the night there just because there was water that we could filter because it was hot. We had drank all our water and we were here. It is mid-October and we're like, what the fuck? Like
I showed them how to find like old burn water, stream water, like all these desecrated hills. I'm like, Onyx says there's a low point here. I guarantee you,
well, you could
just
see
like a puddle. Like streaming, like it comes
see
out
down
of the
in
ground.
the draw. You see like an area of like green brush. It's like fuck. We got to go kick around and see if we can find a little hole in the ground. I've got some good videos actually of the little trickle of water that we were using to fill our water bladders.
Really?
And yeah,
that's cool.
And so that we made camp there the first night, and then just pretty much beat feet out of there in the morning and got back.
We met up with
Dan and
Dan on the way down. And so we hike all the way down and we get to the cars and guess who's there?
James.
And what does James have? He has a 4x3.
How long had James been in the parking lot before he shot a deer?
See, this is the same shit that happened last year. That parking lot is the spot.
Yeah, the parking lot is the spot to sit.
Yeah.
We show up, dude. James has this for.
He's already got it fucking like in game bags and putting it in the cooler.
That's hilarious.
But dude, Ben and Dan just spent 2 days scouting, being run in by hunters and people. They come back, they see this. Dan goes, "Where'd you get that?" And James goes,
"Right there."
I mean, I walked out and I was like, I don't want to walk this far. So I got in my truck and I drove, and maybe I went 200, 300 yards, and I got out and parked. And then I just started walking through, and all of a sudden I saw this deer. And he goes, I pulled up and I'm starting to shake. I went to pull the trigger and it didn't go. And like my safety wasn't all the way engaged and it wasn't doing, so I cycled another bullet. And he's like, so this deer's looking at you and fucking you're cycling trying to get your shit to work.
Like 30 yards, he said.
And it's still standing there. You know, and he's like, yeah. And then so like I racked another and I got it. And then like I pulled it up and click. And now I'm really like, I'm feeling the nerves. And he's like, I shot it. And then it like ran. But then I found it 20 feet later and it was completely dead. And I'm hacking it up. And Dan just spent 3 days in the woods. And he's like, he's like visibly shaking. Like, you fucker. You just parked and drove and walked.
He was
You showed up late.
He was palpably angry.
Oh, dude, it was awesome.
That's so funny.
Dude, Dan went on a mission.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
he's like, we're going. And so from there, that happened. We hunted one more day there in that area. I went in the morning where James shot. I was right behind a bunch of elk, which is very interesting because that area is getting elkier, which turkey hunting isn't supposed to be elky. Deer hunting isn't supposed to be elky, but it's getting much more elky. And I was on top of elk. I had a better chance of killing elk that weekend.
Nathan and I found a ton of elk and moose sign this weekend. Almost more than deer.
My cousin was saying that in Montana there's a whole herd moving east right now. So I don't know if there's some shit going on
there
all
is.
over.
That's another podcast, though.
Yeah.
The Earth's magnetosphere is weakening.
But so we did that, and then we left for a mountain. I can't say the name of the mountain, but we went up where I wanted to originally take you guys. Old Yeller, we'll call her.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's faithful.
So we left the parking lot full of people, and we're like, we're going to go up to a mountain at 8,000 feet.
Yeah.
2 years ago, saw the biggest bear of my life ever there. It's like, maybe she'll be back and stuff. That'd like be cool. That. Yeah. So then.
So that was
up Old Yeller.
Well, hang on. So then we had to pack base camp into the trucks, relocate to another valley. Probably that was like an hour drive.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then
I think there's a skill to packing down and moving.
To move camp as many times as we did, both on our backs and in our vehicles. That's why I was so happy the entire time. Is I was like, you guys don't realize this, but we are running in real time a very efficient reconnaissance operation.
Yeah. You're looking for the deer.
Yeah. And it was impressive how well everybody was able to just be like, okay, yeah, we're going there. Here we've all got navigation. We all know where we're going. We would get to whether base camp was something we carried up a mountain on our backs and set up on a ridgeline or something we set up around the trucks with like a little more comfort. At that point, everybody just came up with their own independent plan and sort of split off. And it was just sort of like, all right, well, we'll see everybody. I might see you guys at midday, or I might not see you guys till dark. We'll just kind of see what I run into. And everybody was kind of on from our whatever little base we were at. Everybody just sort of split off and took independent little.
Yeah, you got to divide and conquer.
Yeah, no, it was an impressive display of woodsmanship, is what I would call it.
Well, fucking A.
From the parking lot to the sea.
Yeah, and getting into my mind that I like to study guerrilla warfare and shit like that. I was like, oh, this is exactly why they don't want you going hunting and why they don't want you owning a hunting rifle is because this is how you train a partisan group of rebels to do exactly what exchange deer for Chinese soldiers.
Yeah.
And game on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's because just, what were we doing? We were looking for routes of movement, signs of movement, numbers, sexes. You know what I mean? Like we're gathering information on the animals and then trying to kill the alpha.
Yeah, take it out.
Tell me how that's not a military operation.
Well, some would say, I mean, well, we're starting to get into forest talk because there is some forest talk that happens.
Fuck yeah, there is.
But I kind of think it would be harder if it was animal versus man in a way. The ability for animals to hide and stuff, it's way harder than like Vietnam style, like walking through the woods looking for another dude walking through the woods. It's like animals are so more adept at just
disappearing,
especially muleys, those big ears, like they hear you coming when you're crunching through burnt forest.
And that gray color of their hair makes them disappear in so many light shadow conditions, like
rocks.
Yeah.
It's crazy to think like how well that actually does work, because it's not like you think of like camouflage and you're thinking a lot of lines, a lot of this breaking up the outline, but like those deer have the color that's like it's tan,
like a color that you can't see,
but it's got a little bit of black in it.
It's a gray with little specks of black and little specks of white.
And it's just like, how the fuck
they
does
got
that? Just, and all of a sudden you just see it one turn. It's been standing there the whole time. Fuck.
It's movement.
Yes.
Everything's moving.
And that's the other thing is like understanding that we have predator eyes. And so when you're glassing, I started to realize like I can't just be staring at still spots. I just have to kind of slowly move along and hope to see movement. That's what it is, because that's what our eyes see is movement. So that's really all you can hope to see.
Yeah.
Supposedly, like deer's eyes, like it's a horizontal. I think it's something about horizontal. Like they can see movement horizontally really well.
Okay.
And interpret it faster than we can and better.
Sure.
So when something's moving,
I was gonna say, I to me it seems like they're smell and hearing dominant, and then visual for them is like their third priority of senses or whatever.
Well, that's because
I think their eyes are pretty good.
They stop and they look, and then, but I think it's a combination. Is it they're moving slow because they don't want to be detected, or are they moving slow because they're trying to look?
That's just their nature.
You know what I mean?
They don't have to go check things. No Instagram, no
true.
Twitter. Yeah. I don't have to go pay the phone bill.
They know where the water is. They know where the grazing is.
Well, imagine
out there, everything moves at like 1/16 of the speed, maybe.
Oh, man. Okay. And that might be the biggest point of the entire week is that within a day or two, you're so used, like the second day at the first spot. So day 2. And Nathan and I went out, crossed that marsh, and then headed up that ridge line. And it's like, okay, there's all kinds of crunchy, like, because we're in that burn. It's like, just slow down. And this is how we're just going to walk 3 steps and then stop. And pick out your next 3 steps and then stop. And then, and you got to know your 3 steps before you go so that you make sure you don't walk yourself into something you can't get out of.
Becoming comfortable moving slower than you think you need is it's a skill. It's not easy to get into that. And me and Mike have talked about it quite a bit, is like learning to move the speed of the woods and like being like getting that. And when I first get to a spot, like I'm very like, okay, kind of hard charge. And then like, it's like, okay, calm down. That's where like taking a nap, like we've talked about that before, taking a nap kind of brings you to this
Orients
level. It grounds you.
Yeah.
You're grounded to, and I don't know if it's you're just like,
because you're tipped over in the woods. You're laying,
but you know what I mean? Like it resets. Like when you wake up, you are recalibrated. There's something about taking a nap in the woods.
I even think just sitting down and like smoking a joint and boiling a coffee. And then when you get up and it's like, okay, that last day when I went up the ridgeline by myself out of the last camp, it was like, I still covered ground, but I never moved fast. And I covered a lot of ground without moving fast and without making much sound. And it was like, oh, this is awesome because now I'm moving with the woods.
Yeah.
And it was such a cool feeling. And it's kind of disappointing to come back. And it's traffic and people are scurrying around. There's lines at the grocery store, and it's like,
you just get your feet wet.
I don't want to move at this pace.
Yeah.
I want to move at the pace of the woods.
Yeah. Well, there's also the fact that, like, you know, you look at people in other parts of this country and they get to move more like the wood speed, you know? And then you look at other people in big metropolitan cities and it's like hustle and bustle,
yes,
you know?
all the
and
time.
Then you go out to the country and it's a little bit slower, a little bit more easygoing. And that's why those people can live.
The weirdest thing is like,
it's true. They're living the same relative time, but they just live longer.
The weirdest thing is, though, like in that area, like I've gone out there my entire life growing up, living in Washington. I'm 41, you know, so since I was maybe 7, I've been going out to that area and to see what it was.
North Cascades.
We got a problem? We got a problem? To see what it was and see the influence. Like, I'm seeing, like, as a kid, I grew up too. Like, I lived in Issaquah. And, like, Issaquah, what it was in the late 80s, early 90s is not the Issaquah today. And I'm seeing that same thing happening to a place so far from Issaquah that it was hours and hours to go to. But now it's like I'm seeing those same markers, those same feelings, those same people, it's just getting taken over.
Yeah.
And like, so to me, this whole hunt this year has been like, it's harder and harder. You've always said it, but I never really thought about it. Like, it's harder to find places that are untouched by people. Like, I go to my sweet hunting spot and there's hikers and barking dogs and 6 camps and stuff. And it's like, last year there was no one up here and it got slayed, you know? Yeah. So it's just, I don't know. It's a Washington state badge of honor, I think, if you kill things in public land, but
I think Washington is probably one of the hardest states to hunt. I truly do.
I don't remember who, but I heard that from someone else recently on a podcast.
Oh, well, yeah, you're hearing it on this one right now because I truly believe Washington, like the seasons are kind of short and fucked up.
Yeah.
And it's just not what you can get. Like it took me, I started hunting 18. It took me 4 or 5 years before I killed my first deer because it was just like, it was hunting Western Washington for a 3-point minimum. Like you gotta stumble upon it. You just gotta get lucky. You know, there's a lot of luck. And some people would say, I fucking kill a deer every year. And it's like, fucking good for you, dude.
Yeah.
But like on public land, trying to, first off,
when a lot of those people have access to private fields.
When there wasn't Onyx.
Yeah.
And you're trying just to find a fucking spot to hunt.
Yeah.
And understand the regulations as a dyslexic kid, good fucking luck. Right? And it's like, what am I supposed to do?
Why am I in the Whole Foods?
Yeah. I carried the three shells.
Yeah.
That's three shotgun shells. You can have as many fucking rifle rounds if you want. Yeah. You can have a 20 round mag. I know people who do it.
Well, what's funny is we actually had this conversation out there this weekend. There were guys in our group that still believed you can only have 3 rounds in your gun, and I was like, I'm pretty sure that's not true.
That is not true.
Yeah,
my gun only holds 3 rounds,
which is honestly 3 rounds is fine for deer hunting, but the point is that's not the law.
Yeah, but then the laws and everything else, and by the way, this is it the 11th. They're going to vote on the general bear season.
Oh, yeah.
To see if they won't cancel that as well.
Really?
Yeah, they're trying to get rid of bear hunting in Washington. And by them, I mean that liberal bitch that's running this stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know exactly when I think it's November 11th. They're doing I don't know if it's town hall or if they're putting the meeting up or.
Didn't they say like New Jersey did that And then
How'd that work out?
kid got killed at Rutgers University.
Yeah.
And now the governor's like, it's all open. Kill all the bears you want. But it's like, yeah, you have to have a little bit.
Maybe this is us banking some goodwill for like just a fucking open
Who's
season.
going to release a bear
limit.
in downtown Seattle?
If we go bear hunting outside the UW.
Hey, I just zeroed that 300 win mag. Maybe we take it to the Arboretum just south of UW.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey.
There we go. Get a bear down there. I just, man. So you guys get to go on all these adventures. I fucked my knee up, so I didn't get to go.
I did all of this with a broken toe, motherfucker.
Hang on. I didn't even get to finish. The best part, so we went to Old Yeller. We did that.
We got blown off the ridge by a fucking cold ass storm.
Cold. I got a hole in my boots. I'm like, I'm either going down to my car or we're going somewhere else. We're not seeing the deer we want. We went lower. But my favorite thing was seeing you and Nathan get a hotel room for the night to shower. And like, dude, it was 5 days or something.
It was like night 5 or 6. So the night we got blown off that ridge, which is funny because I was kind of like, I don't want to go down yet, but we could go down a little lower and get into shelter in the bowl and stay. But once someone had said hotel room and it infected the minds of everybody in camp, there was no going back.
Did everybody do it?
Oh yes.
Oh yeah. We all got it was 5 days.
This fucking guy right here. So we're driving into town and I said, hey, let's stop and eat. Cause once I take a shower, I'm going to go to sleep. And Mike's like, no. We got to get a shower first.
There's a great strip club.
Yeah. It's like 7:00. And so we all go, by the time everybody gets showers, it's like 8:15 and it's Winthrop. So all the fucking restaurants close at 8.
Oh no.
So here we are trying to get out of the goddamn cold weather for a night. And we end up having to grill cheeseburgers on our tailgates in this fucking storm because this dickbag wanted to take a fucking shower before he ate.
To my defense, when we got the hotel room, I'm like, is there food open late? And the guy's like, yeah, you go down to the local saloon.
Yeah, the guy was hitting on
10.
Mike. Definitely hitting on Mike.
That's
Sweet
too
wood
funny.
face. But yeah, so we did that, and then we hunt the lower area, and I saw a 2-point finally. It was a rough year, dude.
In Winthrop, or
Timestamp.
Yeah. No, we're not North Cascades.
North Cascades, dude. I mean, yeah, go to Winthrop and
Listen.
We
didn't exactly come home successful. So
Well,
by all means, go to Winthrop.
remember that time we were in? Me and Tobin were driving out to go hunting on one of the first hunting trips we had ever actually spent together, and
The first.
the very first, yeah. And he knows what he's doing down there. But we're driving out there. And in the parking lot of, was it Safeway?
It was the lumber yard in Leavenworth.
Dude.
2 4-points. I still have that photo.
Massive fucking deer. And we were like, holy shit.
Like, you know what this means.
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
not a goddamn thing
Not
seeing
a
the rest of the
fucking
trip.
thing. And literally, I think we were on the mountain just north of there.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And I was like, oh, yeah, no, they're down there at the KOA.
Yep, just fucking hanging out. These sons of bitches.
Chilling out in the fucking Safeway parking lot.
What I do like,
That was a nice deer. Have you seen that picture?
yeah.
Yeah, that was a good
That's
deer.
how it works. So the smart ones go down lower where they're like, I'm safe.
Yeah.
Yeah. People don't shoot me next to this condo.
Yeah, it's weird. This
You know what I mean?
big rock I walk on.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
black top.
But like, yeah, you can get a decent 3 or 4 point, but I like deer hunting because there's a lot of vantage point and viewing accessibility, but going up high, like a lot of places we went, like we're at 8,000 feet, plus or minus depending where you're hiking and stuff up there. And it's like there are big deers. And they have decent racks for up there. And I'm not a trophy guy, but it's like it would be nice to get a substantial thing of meat that's kind of nice to haul home. But also, it's fun to see them up there because there's nothing else up there. And you just go to these top of these peaks and there's little trails where these big bucks, you see hoof prints with the forks, like those buck forks, and they're walking around, but they come out in the morning and then the rest of the day they're just gone. So it's such a tough hunt for me in a way too, because it's like everything's for the morning. From 8 till 10, I feel it really kicks off.
Golden moment.
Yeah.
What I was going to say,
it's just over for 24 hours, 22 hours.
I was going to say that for me, it was more about the adventure, because you're obviously equally successful just cruising around on the roads and trying to shoot something, like hence James, right? But it's
shout out.
Yeah. But it's more about like, what experience do you want to get out of it? So like, especially for me, taking Nathan up there so that he's getting that like mountain experience. Like, we're getting up in the weather and we're learning how to camp out. You know what I mean? Like the first night we got up there, when we went to go set up our evening positions, we not immediately, but pretty fast got that storm came in and the big rain came in. It was like, oh shit, we got to beat feet back to the tents. And he and I had cut a bunch of pine boughs that morning to make a windbreak around the, I think it was like the northeast corner of the tent, like the way the wind was coming up from the valley below. And it was like, oh, thank God we did that. But he got to see that in action. And then he and I were in the tent. Yeah. It's like 6 PM and we're just in the tent. And it's like, well, let's boil some coffee.
Can I
shoot
say
the
this?
shit, and we'll go to sleep at 7:30 or 8 o'clock, but the wind's howling, and the rain flies shaking, but we're warm in there because we built our little barrier. And so there were so many good lessons for him.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Mike. You look like you're dying to say something.
Your experience hunting is my rifleman camp.
Yes.
The enthusiasm I
Yeah.
come in with at rifleman camp, and this is awesome. I get to try all my cool gear, so excited, dorky. But it's like, it's.
But I legitimately love that. Like, when we were out there, I hate hiking on trails. It's fucking stupid. But as soon as you take me off trail, I'm having the best time of my life. Yeah. Just fucking working my way through the brush and those low trees. Yeah, because you just went from, we're trying to get from point A to point B on this fucking trail to now we're having an adventure. Mm-hmm. And I was like, here I am. This is all I wanted to do when I was a kid, is take a rifle and go walk adventuring in the mountains. Yeah. Like, what kid doesn't want to do that? And now here I am. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Here I am at 44 years old, and I was like, this is the best fucking day of my life.
That's what it is. What it's all about, man. It's truly this is the first year I have not gone hunting at all.
You did. You killed ducks.
Well, yeah, but that's. I mean, I'm talking like for
big game,
warm-blooded hunting.
But you know what I mean, though. I've hunted so many years and not killed anything large, and it's like, I get so upset. I'm hitting my breaking point where all my friends go
your dog
out of town.
Tethering a goat to a pole and backing off 50 yards.
But the amount of people I know that go out of state, and they're like, yeah, of course I killed something. It's like, really?
Dude.
And it's like, you spent maybe on your hunt and tag quadruple more than what I would. But it's like, you seem to constantly get it and you love going to that place. And it's like, I want that badge of honor that's like, you got it. Like, you found that spike out of all those elk and all, But I don't get it. And so when duck season comes, and I get to unload boxes of shells, so much like therapy is happening through hunting by being able to blast birds out of the sky.
Duck hunting is...
I would pull the plug on my shotgun. In fact, I'd put some long-ass fabricated tube on there so I have like 18 rounds.
Yeah, just a bunch of three-quarter
It's it's like Nazi Germany when the British bombers would come over, and you want to be that guy with the wheel gun fucking spinning.
Well, I will say, like, that is... Bird hunting is all of my eggs are going into the bird hunting basket this year. So whether it be upland or duck, Like that's pretty much my only plan. So this year I plan on going duck hunting quite often. I'm very, very, very excited. And we did have
Mike was trying to talk
good
me into
hunts.
this, and I just don't.
Look, here's the deal. Like, I think you need to get.
He just has to go once.
Your tummy
Just
needs
once.
to. Your tummy needs to co-sign for you to want to go hunt. So you need to have like some duck jerky or duck sausage or something.
That is
Duck
true.
and bacon
I need to
fried
know that
up.
I
And-
enjoy
yeah,
it.
and then you're going to be on board. Like, because the experience
The problem
of
is
doing
now,
it.
as I have to buy twice the equipment.
No.
Yes, I do, because Nathan's like, wait, when you're
just
lacing up,
need
when you're
waders.
lacing up your shoes and your dogs are looking at you like, you're going somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going, right?
Yeah.
It's the same thing with.
You go, let me go check it out, make sure it's safe. And I'll report
it's like,
back.
so you getting your shotgun out? Oh, you got your waders.
They do. My dog does do that.
Do we have a second pair of waders I could wear?
We got waders.
We got
we got
I
shorts.
noticed we got shotgun shells I could use.
Yeah.
Maybe where's my waders?
Yeah. You go, hey bud. Lawn needs skip mode.
It's all good though, because eventually he'll become your spotter.
Oh, I know. Just
Like,
here's the other thing.
you
He's
wanna
also
support
also my excuse to go do all the things.
Yeah.
Right? Like we don't have dirt bikes for me. We have dirt bikes for the boy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We're
It's for him.
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
for a
them.
well-rounded fucking
Childhood.
youth.
Yeah.
Of course, I want my son to know how to tail whip. Don't be a dumb bitch. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, so I will say, like, sitting in a duck blind is very, like, it's a lot like this. We sit around, we bullshit, we have a good time, we're calling.
And then all of a sudden,
little bit of
someone
that.
sees something. Yeah.
And then it's like, everybody gets quiet, and then somebody talking loud, and they go, wait, all right, wait, are we going to kill him? No, let him circle. Oh, they left, fuck.
Sky blast. And commence.
Sky pop.
Yeah.
No, dude, it's a blast. It is truly like it's one of the most fun
I love
things
duck
you can do with a shotgun is fucking duck hunt. It is a fucking blast. So you got to go out at least once, just feel it out.
Who has space for me in their waders?
I have a
I
pair
got
of
pretty
waders with
big
a hole in
waders.
them.
Yeah, I don't want your waders with a hole in them.
Not giving you.
I mean, you don't necessarily need to have waders to go.
Yeah,
Go
you
naked.
do.
Come on, dude.
Dude, you live minutes away from my little fun spot. I like it down there for some reason in the salt water.
I do like, yeah, but that's just, cheap shotguns. Bring your cheap shotguns.
Cheap shotgun.
Yeah, of course. You're in salt water.
Yeah, I didn't know the first time I went where we were going to fucking saltwater.
Sorry.
I got the A400 out there,
$1,100 shotgun
$1,100 times 2.
times 2. Oh boy.
That was an interesting trip because I told Jordan to come here. I'm like, let's go duck hunting. And a deaf guy showed up with a
all the
satchel,
beer.
with a
All the beer.
satchel of Bud Light. And it was like, all right.
This guy's awesome.
Yeah, signed to him. Thank you.
Doesn't even know how loud we're being.
Yeah, no, that was fun. One of the, I think, was that the first?
When that area is
Hang on.
fire.
I do remember when you guys brought your little packs up into the gym when we were recording one of our early episodes of this show, and it was like Jordan opened up his butt pack and it was like beer cans and chicharrones.
He's like, where were you?
An empty box of shotgun shells. I was like,
I was in a duck
all
blind.
right.
No, I took Jordan up that spot
I'm a
twice.
snack
that
man, dude.
first time, it was fire. When like Dan went to shoot that, you went
Oh,
to
that motherfucker.
shoot that goose, and he's like, no, don't. And he's like, I got it, and he missed it. You know,
Son of a bitch. So it was one of the coolest opportunities to shoot a fucking goose. It was a Canadian goose, right? And it's foggy and like super foggy. You could only see like maybe 30, 40 feet. Something like that. So
it was a good day though. There's still good like that. We went there in that morning.
It was great, but
that
we're
was
walking
leaving.
out. We're leaving, and it just somehow the fog rolled in, and we're walking out, and you kind of walking along this little dike, ditch kind of thing, and then all of a sudden, here we, And we're like, oh, fuck.
Those big wings move air.
Yeah, and turn, and oh, there's a goose coming in. And I'm like, oh, fuck. And I grab my shotgun, and I go to, like, take aim, right? And Dan's like, oh, wait. And I was like, oh, is it illegal? Like, I thought it was fucking, I thought we were, boom!
What a dick.
I was like, you motherfucker. But the thing was, like, at its closest to us.
3 feet above our head.
Oh, man, you could have hit it with the shotgun.
Yeah.
It was so
Could have
close.
swung your gun and hit it.
Yeah, it was just like, what the fuck? It was so funny.
Oh my God.
And then he was like, don't shoot. I was like, huh?
What?
I didn't. And then boom, boom, boom. I was like, how the fuck? Yeah, it was hilarious. It was like, it was too close, right? But yeah, dude, duck hunting is, and goose hunting is so fun. And like snow geese taste delicious.
Yeah.
That's what you keep saying.
Really like snow
Do
geese.
they get off those fields in Skagit Valley and go out to where you can actually shoot at them? Or
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've taken them, and that's why I like that salt water.
okay,
Because that's
They get up in there. Yeah, I would.
maybe I don't know.
in the North Cascades of salt water.
I don't want to buy
We
waders.
gotta quit talking
Dude,
about our spots.
dude,
Timestamp.
Quit worrying
North
about
Cascades.
timestamp.
Yeah, I'm not censoring shit.
The
That's on you.
waders, yeah. Just get a pair of waders.
Yeah. Do it,
Just
dude.
do it.
Just
Right.
do it.
Yeah.
It's fun.
I have a friend.
If-
I have a connection at Sitka.
Okay. Well, don't do that. That's
No?
too. No, even your connection's expensive.
Yeah, just go to Cabela's. Or,
Just get a janky pair of waders, or how about this?
no,
One day-
$300
one day-
and you're decent.
But one day, like I'm a little heavier than you.
How so?
You might be a little taller than me.
Okay.
I hear girth matters more. But anyway, so one day if Mike's going hunting and I'm not, or something like that, just borrow one of ours.
No, there we go.
And then go give it a shot. Like it is truly the funnest.
That's what I mean. I've got a solid pair of waders, and I got a pair of waders with a hole in it, but it's a slow leak.
I'll
Hang
borrow
on.
the solid ones.
But the
Yeah.
slow
Yeah.
leak
Slow leak.
hole,
Yeah.
even the
I'm
slow
slowly
leak,
drowning, boys.
I will, if I have someone that's like, I want to go hunting, it's like, oh, I'll take the slow leak one. And you try and keep 1 foot out of the water. You're like, I can deal with this to eventually a certain point in time, because they do keep you kind of warm, because duck hunting is that much fun. Your ability to shoot.
Lets
there's out the aggression.
There's action the
Yes.
whole time.
Yeah.
So, and you're shooting your gun at animal, and you do eat the animal, right? Like it's still like
You guys eat the duck.
Yes.
Yeah.
I've never eaten.
If you can
I've eaten
find
duck
it.
one time.
Was it hanging in Chinatown or
That was in Germany.
You ever get Peking duck?
humble brag?
Do you guys ever eat Peking duck? Like what's hanging in?
Yes, so good.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah, that duck
All right.
hanging.
But that's a different kind of
here's
duck.
the thing.
Different kind of duck.
If I'm making the
Yeah.
commitment, I'm gonna have to go to a pawn shop and find 2 shotguns. They're cheap as shit. They can go in the salt water.
That's the beauty of
And
it.
I got to get
Yeah.
Nathan some waders.
You gotta get some waiter.
Yeah.
You get-
that
Or
means
you no,
two
you
of-
can have my whole
2 of everything, motherfucker. 2 of everything.
We could figure it out.
We'll,
Craigslist.
we'll talk about it.
Yeah. Dude, it's too fun not to. And Nathan would love it.
I know.
He would absolutely love it.
That's the that's.
He-
I don't give a
could-
fuck, but the reality is he would love that chick.
I chalk if you had to like correlate
I'm gonna bring
a
Mike's
sport-
fireworks that are left over from 4th of July and see what I can hit with those.
If you had to correlate a sport to duck hunting, duck hunting is the golf of like hunting, right? It's like you're out there, you're kind of socializing, you're not really working too hard. Some people take it way too fucking serious for how good they are at it. Like
You're consistently swinging for the most part,
and you're
compared
just
to
fucking
deer.
letting it rip. Yeah,
it's a driving range.
It could be. Yeah, it's a good.
Well, when
fucking
it's
time.
a driving range, that's a special day. But yeah, at least you're golfing a full 18.
It's fun, dude. It
I'll
is
think
truly.
about it.
Yeah,
There's
you're
a reason-
gonna do it, and you're gonna like it.
I'll put it like this: there's a reason when I go like deer hunting, I'll take
Get some of that door whiskey.
Door whiskey.
maybe 10 shells, just like for the whole trip. it's like I got more in the truck, but in my bag and my kit, and like I'll have 10 shells, 10 rounds
For the whole day?
for the trip for the most part. But when I go duck hunting for a day, I'll usually bring 2 boxes. And
turkey. Yeah, sorry.
yeah.
Yeah. I got it backwards.
Yeah.
Okay. That's what I was at. Yeah, turkey shotguns.
Not even turkey, duck.
You need like eight shotgun shells to go turkey hunting.
Even deer.
You know what?
I'll take 10 in my bino harness, my gun, and then a couple backup
Total of
in
10
the
rounds
backpack.
is fine.
Backpack, for duck hunting, just a normal day of duck hunting, it's
You're bringing boxes?
Yeah, bring 2 boxes.
It's a
We'll see. We shall see. I'm going to have to go home and look at some price tags.
dude. The cheapest stuff, just get the cheapest shit.
I know.
Shotguns are
Waders too? Because what
Waders,
hang on. Here's a lesson that I have
find out
learned.
if you like it.
Is that because I'm on your gear page, but I'm also not on your gear page. But more and more, I'm coming to your side of the aisle because quality. Like I've finally worked out. Like I have a quality layering clothing system that I'm comfortable in any temperature. I figured out my loadouts to get, like I said, my 3-night is less than 40 pounds and my day pack is less than 20. And so like figuring out your gear makes a difference.
Oh, it makes
and
a
having
huge difference.
having good equipment versus cheap equipment is the difference between a fun experience and a fuck this, I don't want to do this again. So sometimes there is like, yes, for a shotgun, pawn shop, find whatever cheapest used shotguns we can find because they're going to get salt water on them. They're going to be fucking destroyed. We may end up just scrapping them into the recycling bin at some point. But the things that keep you warm and dry, that's worth spending a little bit of money on.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that Nathan is a growing boy, and getting him into something that's super expensive.
Adults
Isn't
matter.
worth it.
Children
I see what you're saying. So buy myself nice waders, buy him some Cabela's.
Because it makes sense.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
and then
in a year or 2, he'll outgrow them anyways. Yeah.
But there's another one coming.
yeah,
That's why you get the cheap one.
He keeps asking questions. He's like, when can I go with you guys?
well, there
It's
you
like,
go.
all right.
I mean, because that's the thing is like, and honestly, if I'm a father taking 2 kids on their first hunting experience, or at least spending time together, I want to be in a duck blind. You get to sit there and bullshit.
Yeah.
You're not overly concerned about where everybody is.
I wonder if Lando would come with us this year.
Why wouldn't he?
Yeah. Then fucking now I need 3 pairs of waders, Jordan.
Yeah, well, dude.
Bullshit.
Hey, Christmas is coming up. You know,
Just get one a kayak.
I have a kayak.
You can paddle out.
That we
Yeah.
have.
Yeah.
We have the kayak.
Yeah.
the
Paddle out,
retriever.
retriever.
Right?
Yeah.
You got
See
that
how he did
dog
that, boy?
whistle still.
See how Jordan's 4 dogs are sitting up there in the parking lot?
Yeah. Good
Now
boy.
we have a problem. We have to get out there and get our own duck.
You ever see that Joe Dirt? He's like, see, boy?
See, boy?
See how he went out there and got that duck? I truly think that like sharing a duck blind with people is you're sitting down having a conversation. You get to know somebody like throughout the day if you want to. If not, like, I mean, telling dick and fart jokes and a blind is a good time.
You know,
And
Eating chicharrones.
eating chicharrones, drinking a couple
Drinking
beers,
Miller
maybe.
Lights.
I don't know. I would never drink and hunt.
those duck blinds down in the South where it's not only like, it's like, I don't know. It's kind of
It's like a
in
clubhouse.
the swamp. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's kind of
clubhouse
in
in
a
the
swamp
swamp.
thing, but it's like got a base platform, but then you go up and it's got like a room with bunch of Blackstone griddles and Xbox and TVs and like football
Too bad
going
there's
on.
not ducks out at the Training Northwest range. We
No,
could
there's
do
none.
that.
Yeah, that would be a good time.
But then you go above them and it's like there's another row of seating and they have those pop-ups on the roof. And it's like a 3-story duck hunting blind. Like as much as deer hunting's awesome and stuff, you see videos and the amount of money that people put into the perfect duck blind.
No.
Dude,
I
it's duck hunting is, I don't know.
It's
I
golf.
might say, I'd say it's more out of control than deer, like large game,
Really?
because the amount of people that do it. I guarantee you, there's less people that go after like large megafauna, so more people probably hunt duck. So I guarantee you duck shotgun shells probably in the end during those seasons sell more in ammo than
without question.
rifle shells.
Without question.
Because you're going to spend, like I
Well, 'cause
say,
that's
I
also
take
like
2
the gun
boxes.
club load or whatever the fuck. You know what I mean? Like that. Even people are going out to shoot skeet or whatever, just buying whatever cheap
Yeah,
shells.
but
he's
you're
talking
not
about
taking
hunting.
duck
He's talking about
ammo.
hunting.
Yeah.
Is duck ammo more expensive? I know turkey ammo is expensive
sorry,
as
dude.
shit.
Target ammo's always
Yeah, you have those
cheaper
gun
than-
club loads. That
yeah.
like it's like a pop gun. And then is duck ammo more expensive?
Then
Is
because
is it hotter than the gun club loads?
yeah.
Oh,
It's heavier.
Yeah. So there's steel, like you have to shoot
Steel
non-tox
shot.
ammo, right?
Yeah.
So steel or bismuth or
I shoot
tungsten.
plutonium, dude.
Yeah.
Is that bad?
Uranium. I've been shooting uranium lately.
Cousin Yuri gave me these shells. Yeah.
Yeah, dude. I was blown away that first trip we did. We went out there in the flats, and it was a bluebird day, and we knocked out a limit and a half, which was kind of cool.
Perfect.
And then between 3 of us, it was surprising, and I guess that's why I was like super, super happy on it. And then the upland stuff's happening in Eastern Washington, so that's kind of the next trip. And
Grouse
I've never-
hunting's fun.
Yeah,
We used to do that when we were kids.
yeah, that's a good time. So I mean, and having a dog who does it,
Yeah.
it makes a big difference. It's just a lot of fun to like watch him work.
Watch him work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And not work very good, but it's like, hey, we're out
He's-
here doing
he's
the same
having
thing.
fun.
Yeah, he's having a fun. He's working as much as I'm working. You know what I mean? So he's good for it. But I'd like to see him get a water retrieve real bad. I haven't gotten him into getting a water retrieve, so that's my goal for the year is to get him either on a duck or a pheasant. I don't care.
Does he like water? Can
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He loves to swim.
likes to
He likes to swim.
Yeah.
He won't jump off a dock though. I can't figure out how to get him to jump off a dock. He'll walk in the water and swim all day long. He'll swim way the hell out there and back.
Do you want leftover fireworks from the 4th? I think we can find an incentive to jump off this dock.
Oh yeah.
It's life or
Have you
death.
tried just
dude.
pushing him in?
Oh, I've thrown him in. Yeah. I mean, I know you're not supposed to, right?
Fly,
Like there's a whole
butterfly.
thing, but it's like, come on, I kind of nudge him to the edge, and he's like, son of a bitch, like, and he'll jump in, then he'll swim like he's going to the shore, and then he turns around and starts coming back to me, and it's like, come on, man, the water is fine. Like you're not gonna. He just I don't know if it's because he can't see the bottom or he thinks about it too much, but
Some dogs, it feels like that initial thing is the biggest thing. Once they're in the water, they're fine. They know how to do it. But it's just that thing of going over. Like, do I get it? Do I don't?
yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, my godfather ended up getting a Weimaraner, so I was hoping that we'd go on a hunt with him. But apparently, the big thing with that dog thus far has been the 4th of July really fucked him up with the.
Did they burn a tree down?
Yeah, was
They
his
didn't
house
burn-
under a cedar?
No, they. I think the fireworks went off and it freaked him out, so he didn't have time to like acclimate. So he's worried about the gunshots.
He's an archery dog, not
Yeah.
a muzzle loader dog. Yeah.
Oh. All right. Let's finish out our deer trip here and call it for the night. What else? We went from Winthrop, and then we
Jesus.
completely relocated.
Jesus. North Cascades.
North Cascades.
Come on, dude.
We went from Winthrop, completely relocated.
Yeah. Went down lower.
Yep. Stayed to low ground because we'd been blown off
Went
the
to
8,000-foot ridge.
Didn't hear any shots. Had nothing but pedestrians, hikers, and other hunters go down to low. Every morning sounds like the beaches
that was
of
the action.
Peleliu.
That was the action.
There was gut piles down the road. It was just, I don't know.
And we really didn't get into anything there other than hearing other people shooting. And actually, Dan got his. He hit a deer. He lunged a deer, and they looked for it till dark and never found it. Which it sounds bad, but that's reality. Sometimes is they gave it the honest effort to find it and couldn't find it. And it's kind of weird because like the way Ben described the blood trail and then finding that big like puddle of like coughed up, like whatever the fuck you want to call it. And like that's a deer. That's like the fact that those things can make it continue. You know what I mean? They're traveling with like punctured lungs.
Animals,
they're tough as fuck.
But think about it, like you're not meant to get bitten, ripped apart, and like heal as much. Like dogs are meant to bite necks and have thicker skin, but also they coagulate blood.
Deer
better.
meant to have punctured lungs and run for miles.
The amount of animals that you hear from hunters, like I got this elk and I cut it down, or I got this deer and I started to harvest it, and I found a broadhead lodged in its shoulder or its back, or or in its rib. They are very tough.
Yeah.
And they got it. It went down. They got close. And as they approached it,
Jumped
just
up and
ran away. And it's like, what? I mean, I feel bad for him because it's like, yes, I make a clean shot. I see something go down, go over there, and then it runs away. It's like, what'd I do wrong? It's like,
nothing.
That wait. You got to wait longer.
Yeah, you might be right.
That's all, because that thing would have bedded down and died right there.
Yeah, you're probably right.
It's the hardest thing, or I guess not the hardest thing, let's be honest.
But I think
like,
what they were saying is they were looking at it through binoculars and it was just sprawled out like it's dead. They're like, oh, he's dead right there.
Oh,
DRT.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah. He was like,
oh, no shit. Oh, okay.
And they like waited still and they went over there.
Yeah. That motherfucker's done. Yeah. And they walked down there and it jumped up and he wasn't
took
done.
off.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, well, I guess it does that, right? I guess they do that.
Yeah.
Kind of what I'm saying. Yeah, just wait on them.
It's tough. It was a tough year, man. It's
been a tough couple years.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you. Yeah. There's a couple motherfuckers out there who aren't having tough years, Anthony.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, shout out to everyone. Like, there's been.
But
a lot of
I think
people
Anthony's
from
had
our gym.
he's put in the work for a lot of frustrating
setting out
years.
those
You know what I mean? Like
cams.
he had his big year, but he earned it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like anything else, like the growth that's happening, which are every time you go out, the shit you learn, that carries on, and you're going to pick it up the following year. So you do have to, I mean, the amount of years I put in with 15-mile days for fucking
so like 3 years ago, this is my third season since the Army. Mm-hmm. So I'm basically white belt level still.
Yeah.
So you got to put in the work, and then maybe you get to be a blue belt.
Yeah.
And then maybe you kill something, and then maybe you can move to purple. So it's everything in life if you want to be good at it. Some people do get lucky in the parking lot. Fuck you, James.
Dan's gonna like and subscribe to that. Yeah, absolutely.
But especially too, like if the experience you want, like you get to create the experience you want out of it. And if you want to hunt out of the parking lot, by all means, fucking do it. But if you want the adventure experience out of it, understand you're going to put in the legwork, and sometimes you're going to be disappointed.
But I mean, everybody's adventure is different, right?
Yes.
But you're not disappointed, even though you're like,
I'm not even close to disappointed.
You're like, I went and I saw.
We didn't shoot anything.
Like
I had the best fucking week of my life,
my
Mike.
phone of like the vantage
best fucking
point.
week of my life.
Best week of the year. Buddy.
This is the best day ever.
It was so much fun.
I'm bummed out I didn't get to go with you guys, but life happens, right? But we will share
Pussy.
a duck blind together.
North Cascades.
And
It's all good because I got to meet Wong.
that is
Jordan,
truly,
you have mushroom here. Mushroom here in your sleeping trailer with Dad. Like, whoa.
Yeah, dude, that was
trailer with
that's him. He knew. He knew.
Wong knows. Wong knows.
Yeah. Dude, that guy's a
Shout out
fucking
Wong, dude.
beast.
He was
Yeah,
a
that's the
beast.
thing. We need to find these guys and see if they'll mentor us.
Yeah.
Let's do it, Jordan.
Yeah, dude. You just got to go out there every day.
Too creepy.
And
Hang on. Before we hit the button, I need to say, if everybody is enjoying the show, for the love of God, give us a review, because we have several hundred downloads a week, but it's clicked up a little bit. I think we're to like 40 reviews. So if you're listening on Spotify, iTunes, Whatever app you prefer,
Well,
please
like, share, subscribe. Give us a review.
Exactly. Please leave us a review. Or
Good night.